Mystery Bus!
Crime lies hidden in the puzzle, and the truth emerges through reasoning. Detective Stories of Inspector Chimp.
The Mystery of the Stolen Gold 3, Part 1.
Is this where the neighbors said they saw Goatmeister?
Yes, sir.
Inspector Chimp and a police officer reached the neighborhood where Goatmeister lived.
It's there. So many little animals say they saw Goatmeister sitting at that window.
Inspector Chimp looked up at Goatmeister's house. The curtains were all tightly drawn.
Strange. How could they see him when the curtains are drawn?
Yeah, that's a good question.
The officer pointed to the curtains.
They say they can see Goatmeister's shadow through the curtains, and they couldn't possibly mistake him for anyone else.
What? His shadow?
Inspector Chimp raised his chin and looked down his nose at the officer.
Something doesn't add up.
Inspector Chimp and Rollie were in a hurry to get someplace.
Inspector Chimp? Why do you say it must have been Goatmeister who stole the gold?
There are 3 reasons, Rollie.
Inspector Chimp slowed down.
First, there's my detective instincts.
Inspector Chimp, that's not a very good reason.
True, but don't be too hasty. There's more. Goatmeister looks very scrawny, but he's actually quite strong. Goats are good climbers. It would not be difficult for a goat to climb even as high as the eagle's home.
Now that's good logic. What's the third thing?
Well, judging from the fact that all the victims were birds, we can deduce that the thief knows a lot about birds, including that birds like to collect shiny things. You remember, Goatmeister is a bird expert.
Yes! Yes! He knew all the types of roosters! Whoa! You're so smart, Inspector Chimp!
Rollie scratched his head.
So why don't you just take Goatmeister to jail?
Because he has somehow managed to create an alibi for himself. We need one more key piece of evidence if we want to bring him to justice. And that piece is the stolen gold.
Just as he said that, they reached a large building.
This is Goatmeister's laboratory.
Whoa!
If he wanted to hide gold, he would probably put it in a place he knows well, but not many others know about, so it's harder to find.
The door to the laboratory opened, and Inspector Chimp and Rollie walked in. There were books scattered all over the place, and there was a floor-to-ceiling shelf along one wall. It was covered with jars labeled Aqua Regia.
Let's look for clues, Rollie. And don't forget the jars labeled Aqua Regia are dangerous. Don't go to that side of the room.
Yes, sir!
Inspector Chimp and Rollie split up, racing to find a clue.
Nothing here. Nothing here. So where would he have hidden that gold?
Ow!
As Inspector Chimp was talking to himself, he suddenly heard Rollie shout.
What's wrong, Rollie?
Inspector Chimp! I stepped on something! It hurts!
Inspector Chimp rushed over and Rollie pulled a hard object from under his foot.
What's this?